Right, well, I hope you're all keeping well today and cool if you're in the UK. It's certainly a very hot day, particularly in London. I think we've got about 34 degrees. My goodness. So welcome to OTT's Coffee Break webinar. So I hope you're going to feel very uplifted and inspired over the next 20 or so minutes. Our Coffee Break webinars are designed to offer you a different way to experience destinations, cultures, and supplier products. Our guest presenters will be teaching you something different and entertaining for you to learn. And some of these webinars may even be live from another country, as they are today. We're actually going to go live to Nashville. We'll be running these webinars on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and so to help you remember this, we've called them #Training Tuesdays and #Training Thursdays. These webinars will be predominantly at 11 AM UK time, however some will be at 3 PM UK time, as they are today, to catch other time zones for live training. So just bookmark our webinar page to ensure you don't miss out. All our sessions are recorded and you'll be able to watch it back or share it with colleagues. If you're new to webinars, you'll see a chat button at the bottom of the screen, and we'd love to read your comments as we go through the webinar, but also you can also pop any questions there or pop them in the Q&A button, which is also at the bottom of the screen. And then at the end of the webinar, we can actually ask the panel any questions that you may have. Right, so now you know what OTT Coffee Break webinars are all about. I'm just going to say hello. Hello, I'm Julia from OTT, and I hope you've got your cup of tea or your cup of coffee at the ready. Really looking forward to today's webinar. As I've just been saying, I'd like to introduce Laurel Bennett. She's the Vice President of Tourism in Nashville CVB, and as I say, we've actually gone live to Nashville today, so you're going to see her. We're also going to meet Vivek Surti, who's the managing partner at Taylor, and he's going to show us how to make a fantastic special tea. We've got Tony, and we also have Anne from the UK team for Nashville as well, and they're going to be managing some of the chat and helping along the way. And so this presentation is a little bit different to the normal coffee break webinars, because we're actually going to not just explore one thing, which is how to make some amazing special Nashville tea, but it's also going to explore, and you know, it's the law, you've got to explore it. It's the most amazing iconic music that comes out of Nashville and how it's made, and we're going to look at that as well. So over to you, Laurel. I'll leave it to you to take it away.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Coming at you live from Nashville, where it is sunny and hot here as well. It sounds like a bourbon fruit punch is just what is needed on a hot, sunny day like this. So I'm very excited to have this opportunity to share my favorite city with all of you. I am the VP of Tourism Sales for Nashville. I've been at the city for 19 years, and just it's been such an honor to watch the city become this global destination. And I'll just start by explaining the 3 pillars of Nashville and why we are such an exciting destination. Nashville is authentically Music City, and just a few reasons why we claim that. We've been exporting music to the world since 1871. We have over 180 live music venues, and we are home of the longest continually running live radio show in history at the Grand Ole Opry. Nashville is accessible. Our central location makes Nashville the perfect starting point or inclusion in a Southern road trip itinerary. And we have more than 540 flights daily to over 75 nonstop destinations, including London Heathrow. And we are just keeping our fingers crossed that that service on British Airways resumes sooner rather than later. And Nashville is accommodating. We've had record-breaking demand over the past decade, and that demand has led to a hotel boom. So there is something for every price point. We are consistently ranked the friendliest city by Travel and Leisure, and we have music for every taste on offer. So music of all genres is written, recorded, and performed in Nashville, from classical to country and everything in between. And before I go any further, I just wanted to point out that during these unprecedented times, our visitors and our residents' health and safety is absolutely at the top of our priority list. And very early on in the pandemic, Nashville's 2 largest industries, the hospitality and healthcare industries, came together to create this Good to Go program in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, working with Ryman Hospitality Properties and Vanderbilt University Medical Centers. So over 700 Nashville businesses have signed the Good to Go pledge and are doing the work to make sure that they are putting the health and safety protocols to work in their locations. So to learn more about the Good to Go program, you can visit the web link there, and all the businesses that are participating are listed. So just wanted to know that, rest assured, the health and safety is our top priority as we're talking about Nashville tourism. So what Nashville is famous for? Of course, everyone knows we are famous for music and live entertainment. And you know, the music scene attracts creative types, of course, and that creativity has resulted in Nashville becoming one of the hottest culinary destinations in the South over these past several years. So over 100 new restaurants opened in 2019, and we've got 100 new restaurants slated to open this year. So from farm to table, chef-driven restaurants, hot chicken, of course, we're known for, good Southern meat and three. So really cuisine for every taste. We are known for our sports teams. Nashville is an exciting place to come enjoy American sports. You see there the Tennessee Titans NFL football stadium. It's located right across the river from the entertainment district in downtown Nashville. The NHL Nashville Predators, our hockey team, they play at the Bridgestone Arena right at the top of Broadway. So you've got our entertainment districts anchored by these two stadiums. So there's not a better place to come enjoy a game and then spill out onto the street and enjoy the victory afterwards. And also we had our professional soccer team, MLS soccer team, Nashville Soccer Club kick off this year, and a new stadium project is underway. Nashville's also known for our fashion scene. Again, that creativity brought in by the music scene in Nashville has just trickled into the fashion scene as well. And Nashville makers can be found in our collective groups. So make sure that you're getting off the beaten track and exploring Nashville like a local when you're building a Nashville itinerary. And before we get into what's new in Nashville, I just wanted to go over some of the must-see attractions for a Nashville itinerary. You see the honky tonks there on Broadway. Honky tonks are hole-in-the-wall bars with a band on stage. Basically, that's the definition of a honky tonk. And we have dozens of honky tonks on Broadway, and they are playing music from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning, 365 days a year. So there is not a bad time of year or a bad time of day to enjoy the music in Nashville. Where the music is made, our studios, you can visit studios all over Nashville to see how the magic happens. RCA Studio B is our legendary recording studio. Over 1,000 top 10 American hits were born in this studio, including over 200 songs by Elvis. So that's absolutely must see to learn the history of why Nashville is such an important music destination. We have music museums. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum is the largest museum dedicated to music in the world and tells the chronological history of country music, located right in the heart of downtown Nashville. And of course, when we talk about Nashville entertainment, the iconic Grand Ole Opry. This is the longest running radio show in history and is even going on today during these unprecedented times. Of course, we can't have an audience right now, but the Opry is still going live from the Opry stage every Saturday night, and you can stream it there from the UK as well. So just a few of the many music attractions that you must see when you come to Nashville. And our exciting new addition to that landscape coming in fall 2020, the National Museum of African American Music. It will encourage visitors to discover the central role that African Americans have played in shaping and creating all genres of American music. It will be located in the newest downtown destination at 5th and Broadway. You can see it's right across from the Bridgestone Arena concerts, and the Predators play there, across the street from so nestled in the heart of downtown Nashville. And visitors to this location will be able to shop, dine, and enjoy world-class entertainment. So we are just thrilled to have such an important new music museum join our collection. Talk about new hotel openings. I mentioned we've been experiencing a hotel boom this past decade, really, and currently 48,000 hotel rooms are available in Nashville. We have over 5,000 new rooms scheduled to open over the next couple of years, and just wanted to point out a couple of our most exciting new hotel projects that recently opened. The Virgin Hotel, pictured there, is located on Music Row, just a mile from the downtown entertainment district. As you can see there, boutique style modern property. It's very exciting new addition. And then the Graduate Hotel, located in Midtown, also very close to the downtown entertainment district. And their crowning joy is the rooftop bar you see there. In a city full of rooftop bars, Nashville has many, they have a Dolly Parton themed rooftop bar called White Limousine. So that is sure to become just an Instagram sensation and on the top of everyone's list when visiting the city. And when we discuss hotels in Nashville, we can't leave out the Gaylord Opryland Resort. This hotel is situated 11 miles from downtown Nashville, very close to the Nashville International Airport, and is the country's largest non-gaming hotel with just under 3,000 rooms, acres of indoor atrium and gardens. We've got shopping and dining, a wonderful spa, all under one roof. And just opened last year, the Sound Waves indoor-outdoor luxury water experience. So Gaylord Opryland is a great choice when you are sending families to Nashville and can be enjoyed year-round. Now, I would like to share a trailer with you for our documentary, It All Begins with a Song. We got into the documentary filmmaking business a few years ago and created for the love of music, the story of Nashville, to tell the story about how Nashville evolved into the world's premier music city. So you can view that documentary in its entirety online, and we will be sure to follow up with a link so that you can do that. But this part 2 of that series is all about the most important unknown force in music, the Nashville songwriter. So I'm going to share this documentary trailer with you. It's very entertaining, and I will be back in a few minutes.
I've been fortunate. I've had about 500 of my songs recorded. I've had 42 top 20 singles, and 25 of those songs ended up being number ones, which means nobody knows who the f I am.
I'm the guy that wrote Try for Pink.
You Could Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, Living La Vida Loca,
On Tune, Faithfully.
Like I'm Gonna Lose You,
Grenade, Party in the USA,
Nobody Wants to Be Lonely,
Stay,
Mama's Broken Heart, The Climb,
A Little Less Conversation,
Live Like You Were Dying,
Got a Little Faith in Me,
Change the World, 1,000 Years Because of You,
The River,
Whiskey Lullaby.
What Hurts the Most.
I'm the guy that wrote Jesus Take the Wheel. Well, I should say it this way. I'm one of the 3 people that wrote Jesus Take the Wheel.
They had gone to a bar, and at the very end was this gorgeous blonde, and from behind just curvy and teased up hair. And so suddenly the blonde turns around, and it's Vince Neil of Motley Crue. And so that's when they all went, oh my God, that
Some of the first songs I wrote, I wrote with him in mind. You know, I thought to myself, boy, if I can't do that, I'm going to get a song to him, if nothing else. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
You know, I wrote wrote 700 or 800 songs in that period of time and failed miserably.
Oh gosh, I mean, I've been a bartender, cater waiter, valet. I used to sell pagers.
I spent my first week in town sleeping in a van, me and a blue drum set.
I mean, it knocks you down 50 times hoping you won't get back up, and if you do, that's the time it works.
It was a title my father had given me. I was calling him about money. Again, he said, no, you're not coming home, John. Don't lose that idea. Don't stop believing. I mean it. Don't stop believing. And I scribble in this thing, and there it is.
I'm sitting right there when a guy named Tony Aradas on stage one night. And then here comes a song called The Dance. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared.
This is a songwriting town.
I can promise you there's 100 songs being written right now in this town, this very second. And that makes Nashville a very unique place.
Elvis has left so much energy here. Ray Charles, Etta James, Johnny Cash. You know, these people have left so much energy in the city, and it's still here.
Hopefully we bring that to the party when we go to LA or New York or London, is just that honest storytelling.
Writing a song is, it's like a drug.
Try again. Writing a song is like...
Writing a song is like flying.
Writing a song is like...
Writing a song is like getting beat up.
Writing a song is like...
Writing a song is like having your heart broken over and over and over.
Songwriting is like therapy. It's like you are writing this great movie that's going on in your mind. And if you get it right, the rest of the world gets to see the movie in Technicolor.
I had a man tell me that he was in his car driving out in the swamps of Louisiana, listening to the radio. He said, I was going to commit suicide. And he said, your song came on the air about Five Little Fingers, about your daughter. And he said, I realized that I really had more to live for than I thought I did. I pulled over to the side of the road. I listened to your song. I turned the car around and I went home. That's when being a songwriter is special.
The song may not be your cup of tea, but you will walk out of there going, that was the truth. And that can't be denied.
Songwriting for me has to be truth, because the audience can tell when you're lying.
And we're sitting with a guitar and we're just trying to mean something. They mean something to somebody else.
You have your good days and you have your bad days, and you have your days that it's almost like you don't even remember feeling it come through your body and down on paper.
The reason I do this is that I'm chasing a feeling. I'm chasing the chills.
But Tom Shapiro used to say there's 5,000 ways to write a song. Pick one.
They come from poets and balladeers, age-old stories passed down through the years, from a little baby's laughter, from lovers' tears, and sometimes God just whispers in your ear.
Enjoyed that. I really feel like that drops you into the heart and soul of this city, and the Nashville songwriter community is just absolutely the heart and soul. And that documentary can be found in the UK via iTunes and Google Play. So we will make sure to include those links in our follow-up email. So I really recommend that you spend an hour and a half on that journey of the Nashville songwriter. And you know, it's been said that Nashville is a drinking town with a music problem. So nothing goes better with great music than a wonderful cocktail. So we have asked Vivek Surti with Taylor Nashville to introduce his bourbon fruit tea punch to you today. Vivek honors his heritage through the South Asian American cuisine that is representative of him being a first-generation American of Indian descent. So I will let him take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm Vivek Swarthy from Taylor here in Nashville, Tennessee. And today we're going to demo for you Fruit Tea Punch. So one of the reasons why we do this recipe is the restaurant, we really try to serve South Asian American food. So it's the food of a first-generation American whose family comes from India. And we try to tie that into the beverage program as well. Growing up here in Nashville, every time you went to a restaurant, they always offered 3 drinks. It was you could get water, or you could get sweet tea, or fruit tea. And fruit tea is one of those things that is a classic Nashville beverage. It's usually made with black tea that has some sugar with it, but also any combination of pineapple, orange, and lemon juice. And so we wanted to take that and make a drink out of it. But also it reminds us of the fruit tea punch. And punch is a word that comes from the Dutch East India Company because they used to make punch as they would travel to India and back. And the word punch comes from the Hindi word panch, which means 5, because every punch always has 5 ingredients in it. There's always something that's strong, which is alcohol, something sour, something sweet, water, and then usually tea or spices. Tea being a great ingredient in India as well, we thought it was a great way to combine the 2 cultures to create a South Asian American cocktail. So here we start with our punch base. It's made with Indian black tea, and then we also put pineapple juice, orange juice, and lemon juice into it to create the base. And then, very simply to make the cocktail, we just add bourbon to it, because we're in the South, and that's what we did. So here, you can certainly measure it out, about 2 ounces. And if you want to add a little bit more, no problem. So after we have the bourbon in, then we're going to add a little bit of ice. Nice and cold. Then we'll just stir it around.
Doesn't that look refreshing on a hot day like today? So of course, in a true Southern way, we are sharing the Nashville Fruit Tea Cocktail recipe with you. So hopefully you can take advantage and enjoy that cocktail courtesy of Nashville. And before I go today, I just wanted to make sure that everyone, both the domestic travel agents and the UK travel agents that are in attendance today, that you were aware that we do have a travel agent incentive for agents that are coming to visit Nashville, whether it's purely for leisure or you want to check out the city in order to build itineraries for your clients. Just please get in touch with me. I will arrange for you to have a Nashville attraction pass so that you can get around and see all of these wonderful attractions on us. So with that, I will turn it back over to Julia. Thanks again for the opportunity. It's been so much fun sharing my city with you today.
Brilliant. Hello, everybody. And my goodness me, that was ever so interesting. I mean, I must say, I've learned so much in such a short period of time. The music documentary, I think, has got to be a must-see to really understand more about Nashville. It's sort of quite curious as to how Nashville has sort of bred a hotbed, if you like, of such talent in terms of songwriting. And maybe it is the drink, maybe it's the fruit punch tea, which sort of leads me to the whole idea of a punch. And again, 5 fingers, it's so obvious, 5 ingredients make a punch, and I never sort of made that connection before. And that's probably where I've been going wrong with all my punch, but I just throw everything in. It's way too much. so now I'm going to keep it to like 5 simple ingredients, and I'm going to certainly have a crack at making that amazing tea. So it sort of makes me wonder, actually, Laurel, from a Nashville perspective. When he talked about you asked for water, you asked for sweet tea, I think it was, and you asked for fruit tea, whether that was code, you know, sort of hung over from the old days of Prohibition, that, you know, that meant you got a little bit of an extra in your drink and nobody really knew because it was just fruit tea. Is that something that's right?
Absolutely, and I think we shared an article on the history of fruit tea before this webinar. But yes, Nashville has a rich history in Prohibition, and you know our printing industry was huge at the time of Prohibition. In an area of downtown called Printers Alley is where all of the printing warehouses were located. And during Prohibition, of course, that just naturally turned into to where they were bootlegging and opening speakeasy bars. And the Prohibition style bars and speakeasies have become just hugely popular worldwide. And you can certainly find great throwback Prohibition style bars here in Nashville as well.
Oh, it's a real hip moving, shaking. And what was it, honky tonks? Or what was the expression of music in the venues? What did you call it?
Honky tonk. You know, that is code for just a hole in the wall bar. These places are they've been in Nashville for decades. They're completely unpretentious, and you will see people from all walks of life. Bars, and the music is live on stage from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning. And as the city's grown, more and more of these venues have opened. So you've got your classic honky tonks, but you also have a lot of celebrity honky tonks as well that have popped up on Broadway. So you get kind of the new and the old mixed in. So it's a really great experience, and just more live music than you can imagine. It just comes from everywhere when you're in Nashville.
Yeah, I think if you love music, then that has got to be the place to go to in the world for sure. Absolutely. So has anyone got any questions? I know Tony and Anna, you've been following the chat as well. I'm not sure if there's anything that's come up that we want to find out a bit more from Laurel at Nashville, or whether you want to comment on anything, because I know that obviously you're the UK team here for Nashville.
There's nothing that's come up on the chat in terms of questions, but feel free, anyone, to add anything in for us to answer. We've also got a section on our online training program that links out to the documentary as well. So if anybody wants to find out more and find a way to see that documentary, that's all on there. Just wanted to let people know.
Okay, I see we do have one question actually, which is somebody has booked for some people to come to Nashville in October, and whether or not you think that's still going to be okay to go ahead. Any thoughts on that one, Laurel or Anna?
Well, the city, you know, is open. All of our Nashville Good to Go program I mentioned early in the presentation, and I really recommend that you go to that link just for more information on that. It's constantly updated. We're currently in phase 2 of our reopening, which means that, of course, there are caps on the capacities in the restaurants. Right now, the bars are closed, but by October, I really hope that these restrictions have been lifted. But you know, masks are mandated to be worn around the city. In the attractions, of course, both staff and visitors are mandated to wear the masks. So, so phase 2 right now, some of our major attractions like the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Grand Ole Opry, the Hall of Fame isn't open yet. The Grand Ole Opry, you know, they're still having their Saturday night show, but they aren't open for an audience and won't be able to have an audience until the city gets to phase 4. And I just, fingers crossed that by October we will be at that point. But keep looking at that website for the updates, and feel free to contact me directly if you have specific questions. I'd be glad to answer them.
Sure. There's one last question, which is the best time to visit Nashville, sort of weather-wise, and
my favorite time in the city is fall. It's the excitement of the sports teams kicking off, and you know, just wonderful mild weather. You know, Nashville really is a year-round destination. We have pretty mild winters. We have beautiful springs. In the summer, it's really hot and steamy. We've got high humidity in the South, so I do preface it with warning people. They might not have ever felt humidity quite like they feel when they come to Nashville, but really everything talked about today is open and going on year round. So my favorite time is fall, but Nashville is great in the year.
I think you've given us a taster today of humidity in London. We're certainly cooking here, so we're getting prepared. That's what's happening. We're getting all prepared as to what it feels like to go to Nashville. So that's cool. So when you say fall, just final question there, really, because we need to close. What months are you talking about, just to be clear?
Oh, I would say for the best fall experience, October would be the perfect month to visit.
October. Oh wow! So Rhonda's guests are going at just the right time then.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm sure that's not by accident. Fabulous. Right, well, thank you so much for presenting Nashville to us today. Don't forget, everybody, that Nashville is, of course, on OTT, and you can do their course for a lot more further, deeper information. And pretty soon you'll see that Nashville will go live on the US website as well. So you'll be able to do the course there. But for now, it's on the UK website. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today, particularly on such a warm day, as I say, if you are in the UK. See, us English, we talk about the weather all the time, can't help it. And I'd like to thank you so much for joining us all the way from Nashville, Laurel, and obviously for the UK team, for Tony and for Anna as well. And we'll do a follow-up email, as the team have said, which will give you more information and contacts so that you can contact everybody that way for more information as you need it. So it remains for me to say goodbye from OTT and goodbye from everyone at Nashville.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.